And we are live. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Crypto Chat, where we discuss about crypto in general and have fun. Also, I would go ahead and bring you some good projects as well as the people or from the community or the owners themselves of these projects to have a quick chat with them on a free flow basis, no structured stuff, no designated questions as to what the project does and stuff, specifically to understand, those kind of general AMA concepts and stuff. This is just a casual free flow conversation. Feel free to go ahead and ask any of your questions in the chat section, as well as tune in to more news on the previous episodes of Crypto Chats, where I actually showcased some of the GameFi projects. I mean, that's a hot topic right now happening in the crypto space. Let's see how it all fares in the next upcoming year. So, the first topic that I want to actually open up before I go ahead and bring in Josh, who is the CEO from DeltaFlare, is with the ETH merge that recently happened. So this has been a very big update to the Ethereum blockchain, and a lot many things to actually follow after this update happened. So it's running quite smooth right now, and hopefully when it comes to the price point, yes, we would definitely see some appreciation, mainly for the fact that ETH has now become a coin which is deflationary in nature rather than the expenditure being more spent towards paying the miners and stuff. So let's see, good days ahead for the entire crypto market, I would say. So without further delay, I'll just go ahead and bring Josh, who is the CEO of DeltaFlare, and welcome everyone. Hey, Crypto Empress. Thank you so much for dropping by. Let me get him on stage. Hey, Josh.
Hey, what's going on, Aslan? How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm great. I'm great. Yeah, it's a great day out here in Arizona. Weather's nice. A lot
Hmm.
of work to be done. It's fantastic, man. Thank you.
Awesome. And I really love the banners behind you, especially the one on the left, where you have all this Delta Launch standing. Forget about the crypto and the actual project that you have. It looks more like a movie poster for me.
Yeah,
One that
right.
you can
Almost
actually use in any of the big theaters out there.
it could almost be a Marvel poster, right?
Yeah, I was coming there.
Yeah, it's a
But really
fantastic.
cool work. I mean,
Yeah, it's a great work. Our graphic designer is amazing. He designed this. He designed this. There's one on my couch right there.
yeah, I
Um,
see that.
he designed everything, and when we go to conventions, we'll haul them with us and put them
Hmm.
up everywhere. It's fantastic.
Awesome, awesome. I mean, kudos to the artist who is behind this entire artwork. Really well done.
Yeah,
All
thank you.
right, so the first and foremost question that I'll ask you is, how is that you got into crypto in the first place?
Oh man, let's see. I was first getting into crypto. It must have been somewhere around the pandemic time. I was on Facebook and I saw a mutual friend talk
Hmm.
about the GameStop rocket that went up, right? And I used to work at GameStop. I worked there for 10 years. It was one of my first jobs at 16 years old. And I remember the stock of GameStop being so low, and I thought, man, how much did it really go up? I never really looked at the chart, but just all the news told the story. And I thought, holy crap, GameStop stock just skyrocketed. Next thing
Hmm.
you've got AMC, you've got Doge that's blowing up. And when Doge blew up, I was really interested in what it was. There was a friend of mine who lives out in Utah who got in a little early on as the rocket was pulling away, and I thought, damn, I got to find a way to get into this. So it was a long roundabout way. I talked to a friend of mine out in California. I'm playing connections, seeing who can get me in,
Hmm.
who has information, who can help me out. It was a realm that I had no idea what it was. I had no idea how to get in. And so I'm asking around to people I knew that knew about it. So I reach out to a friend of mine who lives out in California and asked him, hey, how do I get started? Where should I go? So I had heard of a few exchanges before, but I didn't know the differences. And he said, "Hey, let me get you hooked up on Uphold." And never heard of Uphold before. Did a little research, and I thought, okay, whatever. I'm a new investor. I'll give it a go. I get into Uphold, and you have to go through all of these know your customer qualifications. And I'm thinking, damn, this is for something that's unregulated. I'm already finding it so much of a pain in the ass to get in. Do I really want to do this? Really experiencing how high that barrier to entry actually is. I've done, and at that point, I had already done maybe a week's worth of research, and I was still not in. Of course, later on the other life duties, but anyways, that's besides the point. Eventually, I passed KYC for Uphold, and I'm in, and I start making some trades, and I'm thinking, oh man, where am I going to spend my money? How do I read a market? What the hell is all of this? So I didn't have any guidance. I didn't have anywhere to go. So I went back to Facebook, and I thought, okay, maybe I can go find a group. So I ended up finding a group that participated in stock and crypto trading, and I planted myself. The owner of that group actually lives in my city. I had no idea. And I thought, okay, great. We're repping the same city. This will be nice. And I looked into how to trade, what it meant to make trades, who were people to watch, what were people talking about? Was there something bigger than Doge? Was there something more outside of it? How big was this? For such an inquisitive mind, I took myself all the way in as much as I could. And that was how I first got into crypto, man. And from there, it was just a learning process.
Wow. That's cool. And your first investment was through an exchange or a DEX?
It was through an exchange. I had no idea what the hell a DEX was.
Awesome. We have Akin. Hope I
what's going
pronounced
on,
the name
dude?
right. Yeah. He's like,
Glad to see you
he
here.
came over to listen to DeltaFlare after being in the middle of Kenny G's music. Oh, that's nice. Cool. I mean, this is the one thing that I hear from a lot of people. I mean, what was the main reason for you to get into crypto? Was it just the profit that you actually saw when you saw the skyrocket happening with Doge, or was it something else that interested you?
Oh, it was the adrenaline rush of potential.
Right.
Period.
I get you. Yeah, I get you. I mean, because this is something that even got me as well initially, right? So it's just about the percentage gains. They were highly ridiculous, and I'm speaking of the times when when you had these paper wallets. I mean, not even in the pandemic, way beyond that. I think somewhere in the range of 2015, 2016 duration. That's when you had ETH at very low levels, as well as if anyone spoke of crypto, Bitcoin was the only token or the coin that people knew about, right? And I mean, especially here in India, in fact, the accessibility that you had to those assets, wherein people from UK or the US had a direct access, we did not have that in the first place. There was no actual exchange that was existing and stuff. And then they later on came in somewhere around 2017, 2018. That's when the actual exchanges came in, right? So, I mean, all you have to do is look at those ridiculous percentage gains, compare it against the stock gains that you have. Even if you have gotten to the stocks very, very early, those percentages were ridiculous, right?
There was it's funny that you talk about those early days of crypto. At that time, I mean, I think the first time I probably heard of cryptocurrency, of what Bitcoin was, I was a bartender downtown in my city. And there's a guy, he's a DJs all around the bars in downtown Tucson, Arizona. And it's after hours, and he goes, "Hey bro, have you heard about Bitcoin?" And I'm thinking, wait a second. What the hell are you trying to sell me? What the hell is a Bitcoin? What are you talking about? And he's telling me, he goes, "Bro, you could just get online and go buy some cryptocurrency, go buy yourself some Bitcoin and hold on to it. Maybe later in the future, you might be able to spend it." And I'm thinking to myself, what the hell are you talking about, man? Like, I get the digital dollar, okay, but I have a debit card. What the hell am I going to need a Bitcoin for, bro? I don't get it. And for a couple of weeks, he was telling me, just, go get it. And he, I looked at him and he looked like he lived a good lifestyle. He had a good house. He took often vacations. He dressed well. He had a nice vehicle, but I never really put any of that together. I just thought he was doing well at DJing, because that seems
Mm-hmm.
to pay off. I had no idea that crypto had this sort of volatility, right? So maybe 6 months later, a good friend of mine, he was a customer in the bar. He started talking to me about crypto too. And he said, yeah, man, I'm making all these investments. And he's talking about tokens outside of Bitcoin. And I'm thinking, wait, so there's more than one? Well, how does that work? And he was
So true.
dude, I'm talking, I was clueless. And he was telling me just, yeah, man, yeah, you get into the market and you just make trades. It's like doing stocks, but and I'm thinking to myself, I don't even really, I can't wrap my head around stocks right now,
Mhm.
let alone a cryptocurrency, because that sounds so complex. So my
Right.
my initial introduction, dude, I was clueless. Absolutely clueless.
I totally agree to that. When I initially got in, I bought ETH, I bought a little bit of Bitcoin, I bought a little bit of Tron. Tron had just launched at that point of time. So I got into a Tron a little early. But then the funny part here is I started reading all these so-called articles which started saying, Bitcoin will go to 10K, Ethereum will go to 10K, Tron will go to $1. And I was like, oh my God, okay, it's going to happen. It's going to happen tomorrow. Let me buy more. Let me buy more. And then after a certain period of time is when you actually understand all these concepts of how the price action works, the market cap, the liquidity, and stuff like that. And that's when I realized how foolish I was in my early days.
But that
you know,
excitement,
you just
the adrenaline
yeah,
rush of potential, man, just like, oh my God.
yeah.
Yeah.
I had that feeling. I sometimes sit back and just laugh at myself to have those feelings with me at that point of time. One of my office colleague actually introduced me to this entire cryptocurrency and stuff. So every time we used to meet in the office, the moment I logged into office, the first thing I used to do is go ahead and tell him, "See, did you hear the news? Tron is actually going to go ahead to $1. Or Bitcoin is going to reach this particular price point. Did you hear the news? It's very positive. It's actually going to blow up big." And every single day we see that the price is actually going like this, a zigzag, a zigzag, a zigzag. And then okay, oh shit. I was just like, okay, I need to hold my horses, understand how it all works, and then go ahead and start making these kind of ridiculous predictions.
Yeah, I feel as if you really get acquainted with a brand new definition of the word soon, or
Mhm.
sometime, it's just, it will get there whenever it gets there.
Right.
Soon, maybe.
Yeah. That soon will only come when the time is right.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. So I want to ask you something. So
Yep.
one of my first investments was SHIB. At one
Hmm.
point, I was holding on to 5 billion SHIB, and I
Wow.
rode the rock. I rode the rocket up, and it was right around the time XRP got hacked. And I'm sorry, not XRP, Hotbit. Hotbit got hacked.
Hot bit. Yeah.
Security system malfunctioned, and they just shut the whole thing down, the whole exchange. All of my SHIB was up in Hotbit, and I'm thinking,
Hmm.
oh no,
Gone.
this whole uh, oh, what is this? So now I'm thinking, now I have this adrenaline rush of potentially getting scammed, and
Hmm.
it was just as exciting. It was just as exciting. So so I have 5 billion SHIB locked up in Hotbit, and I'm a huge supporter at that time of what they're doing. I'm waiting for the white paper to come out, and I was around when Vitalik had donated such a large portion of SHIB, the SHIB that he was given to India.
Hmm.
So, what was it like for you where you live? What was it like when that happened? How
Yeah.
was your city or country reacting to something like that?
I'll tell you what, that news was only on the mainstream, but how those funds actually got utilized and stuff like that, that only came out after a year and a half later on. Uh, that still has that reserve pending. I don't think so. They have actually sold out the entire assets till now. A portion of it was definitely utilized when the COVID time. I mean, during the pandemic time and COVID hit really bad over here. A portion of those funds really did help aid the government in terms of providing facilities or medication and stuff to the needy. So that was really utilized over there. But the funny part here is they utilized those assets and actually gave a lot of facilities to the people who really needed them, and now they are against the blockchain technology. All
Okay,
that weird.
I'm glad you said that because it has just blown my mind.
Yeah.
Here in the states, we see some of that, and we read some of that news. And I remember reading that for the first time, and I thought, wait a minute, Vitalik just made this massive donation that can be used,
Yes.
and now you turn around and say, absolutely not. How does that make sense? Do you think that it might be a level of control that they're looking for, or maybe they want to just
I'll
implement
tell
some
you
sort of
what.
regulations to leverage the blockchain, or what?
Yeah, I mean, as far as the information that I have gone through and by what I can understand how the things have worked, uh, the main thing that's happening over here, especially with the entire market on a global level, they are trying to get rid of the retail investors. They know for a fact that the retail investors definitely control a major portion of this particular cryptocurrency market cap. So they want to get rid of them. They want to bring in the big boys in, like the banks and the institutions, right? So they want to make it a red carpet for those guys to get in. That's the exact thing that's happening right now. Because funny thing here is India actually made a statement, or the finance minister over here, she Nirmala Sitaraman, she made a statement that we would utilize blockchain technology because we like it and we know that there is future for it, but we are against cryptocurrencies. I was like, how do you even utilize a blockchain technology without a currency in that or a token created for it? There must be something. Come on, it's basic. So then there is news about the CBDC that's going to come out, and they are also going to come out with digital rupee that's going to be having its own bank, and the RBI, the Reserve Bank of India over here, is going to get digitized and stuff like that. So see, things are happening in the background, and if my guess is right, and from what information that I have got, Polygon is the one behind building a blockchain for the entire government aspects in terms of having the digital rupee rolled out. So on that note, I would say that there is a really bright future, and they're just making this way a little hard for the retail investors, but more easy for these banks and institutions to actually hold their assets. And then later on, once boom, okay, we are legalizing cryptocurrency, you can enjoy your fun. And then all
Yep.
the retail investors will go ahead and pay 10 times what they had to pay right now to get in.
Dude,
Okay.
I am so happy you said that. I think that I agree with you 100%. I feel as if
Yep.
soon, when we happen to pick up back into a bowl, we're going to see a lot more institutional money come into the blockchain.
Yep.
And I'm talking a lot of institutional money coming into the blockchain. I can see that really just from the game finance sector, from the game finance side. It's insane. And knowing
Hmm.
that it's not the only portion of the blockchain, you have every single other Web 2 industry that can get onto the blockchain, and solutions are being made for that accessibility. And it's being noticed. It's being noticed by these large corporations around the world.
Absolutely, yeah. And the major fact that is to be playing a role over here is the awareness that is being created, the education, the expert advice that people can give. So right now, if you look at it, recently in the last say 8 months or so is when blockchain uh, certifications have actually become mainstream. Now IIMBs or IITs, they have started offering those are the kind of tier one institutions that we have here in our location. So those have started offering crypto based or blockchain technology based development courses or certifications and stuff. So it's just getting that awareness in place, and moreover, people are only looking into the financial aspect, but they're not looking into the technological aspect at all. So mainly for the fact no expertise, and they do not know how it works. Like I said, if you go back 2 to 3 years before the meme coin mania started last year, if you go back 2 to 3 years down the lane, You just asked them, anyone out there about cryptocurrency, the only things that they used to tell you was ETH, Doge, or Bitcoin. Those are the only three stuff that were on the, and it's on everyone's mind and their mouth, right? Apart from that, no one knew about blockchain as such, how it operates, what are the benefits. No one knew about how we can actually go ahead and create tokens. You could have multiple blockchains, you could have multiple tokens. No one even knew that for a fact. And yeah, the space has entirely changed right now. You have close to, the last I checked in coin market cap, I guess it was somewhere around 20 or 21,000 tokens that are out there, out of which 90% are scams. So keep them
Right.
aside.
Take that with a grain of salt
Yeah,
or a
take
handful.
that.
It's up to you. It's up to you.
Absolutely. So let me just quickly get over the comments. Archeon here has said, I have seen a whole ton of NFTs, including from few artists who have worked with Disney as well, but still can't find any which matches the real life characteristics of Delta Knots. Great work, team. Yeah, I mean, I will get to the NFT portion in a little while, but definitely, yes, the artists deserve a heartwarming appreciation from my side, at least. It's a big, big yes, because they have put in a lot of effort in the design aspect for the NFTs. They look awesome. So the news regarding donation of SHIB token was like fire, with people familiar about crypto and even many people ignorant about it came to know of. Right? Yeah, absolutely, yes. I mean, the news was running around, but it's all about people not knowing anything about crypto and stuff. I mean, even here, local YouTubers, if you take, I'll be open in my comments and not biased as such, but even here, a lot of local YouTubers started making those ridiculous claims, hey, this is going to go to 100 rupees, that's close to around 1.5 dollars. Okay, so this is going to go to $1,000, this is going to go to $100. I was just sitting back and thinking, I was literally laughing at them. Before even I started my channel, I used to watch all these big guys speak about it on their specific channels, try to understand the vibe and try to understand what they're actually going ahead and putting in. So every single person I have seen on majority of the YouTube spaces that are out there, they only speak about the price point. They only speak about, okay, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. All speculative calculations. And on the sidelines, no one actually gives you the knowledge of how this price point is attached. How is it going to be achieved? What will drive that price point? I mean, you could actually go ahead and reach a price point, but it's not about reaching the price point, it's about staying there. So what are you actually doing to stay and hold that fort, right? So that comes with utility, correct? And the use cases of the project. So that's where I said that 95% of these 21,000 projects that are actually listed, or tokens that are listed, they are S. You can just put them aside, dump them, uh, play it as a gamble, just the same way that you play poker, right? So apart from that, the rest 5% or 10% that you have, that percentage is raising on a day by day basis, per se. Those are the projects that you really need to look into and put in your hard earned money. If you have play money, yeah, you can play around anywhere, but if it's your hard earned money, these are the 5-10% that you need to really put in. And the main reason why I approached you, Josh, on having this particular conversation over here on this channel is because I personally have been seeing how DeltaFlare has actually evolved from a basic project, from a Telegram group, because I've seen it from quite some time, say around 4, 5 months, or even more than that, in fact. So I've seen how it actually has evolved. So that's where I know that there is true utility, there is true use cases for the specific aspects that you're going to bring out in your project. It's not just a token created, a pump and dump concept where you just wait and just keep giving blank promises. That particular artwork itself is more than enough to instill a lot of what I can, I keep forgetting words, um, trust in your in the investors or the people who are buying the token. So let's get on to the project as such. So you are a person who never knew about Bitcoin. You are a person who never knew much about crypto and stuff, and you are now owning a crypto project. How was this?
It is it's a very humbling experience. It's a very humbling experience because everything that we have delivered so far, everything that we have done within our project has been from firsthand experience. Um,
Mhm.
the entire development team, I mean, I'm probably the youngest in crypto. I've been in crypto for, I don't know, I think I've lost track of time, but it's got to be around 2 years. You know how time goes on the blockchain.
Wow. Yeah.
It had to have been maybe 2 years, something like that, and I might be the youngest, right? But everything that
Hmm.
we are doing and executing is from a trial and error experience. We've witnessed this in other projects. We've been watching the blockchain develop. We have talked to, a whole bunch of people, both, you
Hmm.
know, that don't know what they're doing and people who do know what they're doing. We've talked to open chain and open source and closed source projects. The amount of primary and secondary research that we have all done as a team has built this project. So it feels great to having gone from, I don't even know how the hell to get on the blockchain. I have no idea how it works. The barrier to entry is this high. And now we're over that barrier and now trying to figure out how to lower it for other people to get in.
Hmm.
And that feeling is fantastic. I love that. That is the adrenaline rush of potential that I know that we seek as a project.
Awesome. So why a GameFi project out of all those other options? I mean, you could have built a DEX, you could have built a swap, you could have built a staking platform, you could have just built a NFT marketplace. Why a game? Why enter the GameFi space?
Well, it's not to say that none of those things will come down the road. We have recently finished up our ecosystem that does allude to certain of those elements. But see,
Hmm.
when we look at the landscape of the entire, maybe not the entire GameFi space, but we can take a good look at the landscape and we can make a lot of determinations. In the GameFi space, there are three projects that are billion-dollar projects. That's Decentraland, Sandbox, and Axie Infinity.
Absolutely.
Axie
Yeah.
Infinity, of course, would be so much higher had they not suffered a $650 million exploit, but they're
Yeah.
still a billion-dollar project. Underneath that, there's a drastic, and I'm talking a dramatic difference. From third into fourth place in terms of that ranking by market cap, you go from a $1 billion project down to, I think it's 500 or 600 million. It's a
Yeah.
really big gap, right? You have a game like Steppen. It's 5 months old, maybe 6 months old now. They
Hmm.
are ranked fifth of all GameFi games. They know what's going on. Why? They have a game. They have a game. They have a utility for their NFT. They're engaging. They're allowing their users to actually go buy their sneakers on Solana and go out and walk and use it immediately. It's that utility you're talking about. Now, why would we build an NFT marketplace when people can just go use OpenSea? Why would we build an NFT
Right.
marketplace when we can create our own D apps and people can come to our website and mint? That's what they do anyways. So
Hmm.
when we look at the GameFi landscape, we want to be competitive, but we also want to see what other people are doing, what's working and what's not working. So far, what we've seen is that when there's a game delivered, you have a greater chance of sustaining yourself in the market for the longer term.
Yep. I totally agree to that because, uh, I mean, the play to earn mechanism is on one side, but your product or your game will be the self marketing stuff that you can actually do for your project and your token itself. I mean, until and unless you actually get that utility out, it's just a promise or word of mouth that actually happens everywhere in terms of purchases or trade volumes. So we have seen how Mana actually shot up when they when they were very near to those NFT sales and very near to those metaverse concepts that they actually released, certain trials and stuff. So as well as that, and one more thing is when you spoke of sustainability, that really comes in once you have a product with you, because that product itself is what gives you the economy to drive further, right? So until now you're only dependent on the entire trade volumes or people who have actually been purchasing your tokens and holding them strong and supporting the project in one way or the other. But on the sidelines, you do need that revenue generation to go ahead and improvise and stay in the market, right? And that only comes when the game is out.
Well,
So yep.
so here's the interesting thing. Here's the interesting thing. The game is actually nothing but an expense. When you look at
Hmm.
gaming as a whole, right? It takes money to build it, but you actually
Yep.
don't make money by building it. You make money on the finished product. Now, what we have seen in the GameFi industry right now is that there's a lot of, this is free to play. But if you have one of our NFTs, you can earn, right?
Correct.
While that's a great gatekeeper, and there are a lot of projects that do adopt that, there are other ways to go about opening your doors and accessibility for other people to come in and play. So at any rate, the game itself is an expense. You have to do other things, like in our case, sell NFTs in order to have the game make sense. Otherwise, we have an application, we have a program that will run without anybody being able to play it. Therefore, it's not actually a game itself. So for us, the NFTs right now, because that is the game's utility, or that is the NFT's utility is for the in-game use. That is what will help drive the game. But it's funny. You can talk to any game development studio, and if they take the time to think about it, that game that they're building is absolutely nothing but a money pit. It's an expense. You're always throwing money at it.
Yeah, I mean, you can actually take examples of some of the AAA titles itself. Take Cyberpunk, 10 years in development. How much money has actually poured in?
Right.
Now we have Diablo Immortal, which is just kind of a skin of a China game. And they took almost like 4.5, 5 years just to reskin a game, right? And build in all that ridiculous ways of, milking your so-called gamers out of their real money. So, yeah, I mean, building a game is not an easy job. You can build a game, but if you want to do a good game where people actually stick onto it and actually play it and enjoy it while playing it, it definitely takes in a lot of effort, a lot of time, and a lot of thinking, right? So I totally am with you on that. I mean, building a game is one thing. Anyone can come out with a Temple Run kind of a game, which is easy to build and kind of, it's just a reskin that you usually do, and you can pretty much do it using the Unity engine very quickly right now, because you have all the assets available. However, would people be interested in playing it when you have almost 1,000 other games which are just replicas of the same?
Right. That has been, so that's I'm so glad you brought that up. There are so many opportunities. If you know how to code in Unity or program Unity to build your game, you can build a game. It can be really simple. It could be a simple play and earn game.
Yeah.
But the problem is that you're at that point, like we see in some of the other projects. If you get, let's say, a basic runner game, or you get, a mobile game where you can just tap the phone screen and it responds, that's how you interact with it. Those are really easy to build, but to us, it just seems like a cash grab. How can we put ads in here? How can we attract a lot of people? It's on mobile where a lot of people play their games. Let's just shove it in their faces. Sure. And at some point, I don't know about you, but for me, I stopped playing my mobile games. I would have much rather play a game with more depth to it. You mentioned Diablo. I'm sure that you're the kind of person who likes a game with some depth, who likes a game with some fun, some skill. You get some character development. You can't get that with some of these cookie cutter games. So, this is where the funny thing about Web3 marketing comes into play, because Web3 marketing has just been so hit and miss. You have a lot of people that come up and say, hey, I see your project. The art looks great. Let me market it. And we're thinking, well, what do you know about us? Have you read our white paper? Have you been to our website? Have you been in the Discord? Have you been in the Telegram? Who have you talked to? Oh, well, nobody. Well, you're not the person that we want to talk to. The cool thing about you, I remember when you got into the Telegram, I think you joined the Telegram first. You got into the Telegram and your icon is, to me, it's very visually appealing. So I didn't forget about it. And, I know that you've been in for a while and you don't say much. And I just figured, you know what? He's probably lurking. Whatever. And I had made a mention in the Discord. And as soon as I made a mention in the Discord, you're in my inbox. You have waited 4 to 5 months to come out and say, hey, you know what? I've done enough due diligence. I like what I see. I want to talk to you guys. I can appreciate that so much from a from an entrepreneur standpoint, from a marketer standpoint, from a business developer standpoint, and just somebody who loves the DD that needs to be done
Hmm.
in blockchain. Because let's be real, man, everybody's looking to make a buck, but is it really
Yeah.
worth it to take the time to talk to those people? Not always. So I just, from me to you, man, I really do appreciate the time that you've taken to look at our project, and wait instead of, instead of doing what everybody else is doing, man. So thank you.
Hey, thanks for that. I mean, it's kind of the space that I actually wanted to bring in when I initially started off my YouTube channel, right? So, the more awareness you create, forget about the money that you want to put in, the money you want to make, because I'll be very blunt and straightforward on this. I do not like to sugarcoat my words. Many of the YouTubers that are out there, they're doing videos or these kind of stuff only for money. They know for a fact that they can actually dump on you when they ask you to buy the tokens. It's as simple as that. If people are ignorant about it, if people are biased about it, it's okay. It's your thought process. I wouldn't like to interfere with that. But this is what is happening in the back end. Many of the big names, I do not want to take out any names, but if you look at their backgrounds and if you look at what they were doing 1.5 year back and how their lifestyle has changed right now within the past 1 year duration, especially when the meme coin mania happened, you would get what I'm actually telling right now. So,
Without
I
a
mean, it's
doubt.
it's more of a platform where you need to create awareness in the space rather than going ahead and blindly saying, okay, we see this particular token. You know what? There is some big news coming in. This is definitely going to go to $1. Go ahead and buy it, man. Come on, you're missing a big chance. This is the next ship. This is the next. Uh, what are the coin? The Doge. Okay, whatever the coin is actually happening with the 1000x or a 10,000x, all those ridiculous percentages. Okay, well, I've seen a lot of meme coins who have actually launched and even done 10x, 100x, and after which there is a big dump that comes in. I understand that, but know one thing, guys. When you're actually going in to a launch or a pre-sale, if you do not do your due diligence and if your project is actually something which is not having a real case utility, then you're just getting into a money trap. On the sidelines, all those inside information that actually flows through are the ones who actually trade and make money, and you are ending up thinking that, okay, I'm going up, 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 and then I just fall down to the bottom.
Yeah, there's a certain level of trust though, and that's the tough part. Is
Yeah.
that the Web3 and the blockchain space has just been littered with scams, honeypots, rug pulls. I mean, you name it, right?
Yeah.
So it's so difficult for people to not treat a brand new project like any of those, like a scam, like a rug pull, like a honeypot. They'll get in quick and look to get out, make a couple of bucks. Meanwhile, the developers and the people, like us and the rest of the team, we're thinking like, we're not them. Don't treat us like that.
Yeah.
When you look at those types of YouTubers, in the early stages of being a project review is good. It's just, hey, you know what? I found this project. Here's what they're doing. Okay, great. We do need help, getting that out there, getting our
Right.
name out there. But, we were running on super thin margins. So, bootstrapping
Hmm.
a crypto project, and it's expensive in this industry. If you don't know,
Yes.
it is expensive as all hell to launch a blockchain project. If you have any more questions, hit my inbox. I will tell you all about it. So,
Yeah.
so at any rate, um, we much prefer doing interviews like this because we have utility to deliver. We have something that we are working on, and we've been on the blockchain for coming up on 10 months now. If we
Hmm.
were a scam, a honeypot, a rug pull, I mean, we would be gone. I wouldn't be here.
That's absolutely yes.
I wouldn't risk this face for a scam. Are you kidding me?
Do you know how many Telegram groups that I had to delete on my phone in the past 2 to 3 months alone? I mean, just take a wild guess.
30.
I would put it at 150 or above.
Oh my God. I heard
Those are the
a
amount of
statistic.
projects which just got dead.
Dude, I was on Twitter. And I came across this tweet, and it was an excerpt from Coin Telegraph, and it said
Hmm.
that 26%, because of the market, 26% of developers have left the blockchain.
Yeah,
It's
that's true.
crazy. Thank goodness. Get out of here. Maybe. I mean, if you just didn't make it, sorry you didn't make it. But if you're a scammer, the hell out of here.
Yeah, I mean, when they speak of blockchain developers, they are not these kind of guys who are just launching copy contracts, right? I mean, when I say copy contracts, for people who do not know how it actually works, you can easily copy a contract. It's an open source for everyone out there, right? So uh, you can just go ahead and copy it. You could just launch it. But yes, it is expensive for a legit project because there are a lot many things involved in the background. It is not expensive for a scam project because all you need to do is launch a project and provide liquidity, which is in a very small amount. Because later than, after that launch, your contract is kind of, formulated to go ahead and feed in the liquidity pool, which in the end, the person who launched it will just pull the liquidity out, get all the funds, and what would you be left with? Some dust tokens in your wallet. You could enjoy. You could say I have a quadrillion of a token, but with no value.
So how many of those tokens do you have in your wallet? That's the real question.
I'll be honest. I think I have five, all
5
five on the BSC chain. Yeah, five,
on
which actually went dead, and those are my
Fi-
gambling tokens. So I follow the 80-20 formula. Like 80% of whatever I can invest, I invest in these legit projects. 20% of what I have, that's play money for me.
Mhm.
So I just
Yeah,
gamble around with that.
yeah. Binance scam chain. That's what we say.
Yeah.
uh,
That's one way to put that. Yeah.
yeah. We so early on, the rest of the developers, we were actually attached to a project that was on the BSC network. But
Hmm.
we eventually moved over to the Ethereum network. And I gotta say, even with gas prices, and SHIB, of course, was one of my first investments, but everything was done um, through a centralized exchange. And even
Hmm.
when I got to using a DEX, I had to learn, like, okay, well, what the hell's gas? I've been using this sex the whole time. I don't know what the hell
Yes.
gas is. Holy shit. Ethereum gas is charging me $150. What's this mean? As a new investor, you see this, and I'm thinking, at the time I had maybe $50 to invest on ETH, and I'm thinking, they're asking me to pay $150 to invest $50. I don't get this. So,
Right.
you know, all of that really just to say that even as we continue to go over these hurdles and together as a community lower that barrier to entry, I gotta say, even even the Ethereum network has just been such a pleasure to be on. There's a lot more traffic, there's higher volume, the growth
Hmm.
rate is insane. I haven't really read anything on the merge, but I know that the merge happened, and that's supposed to improve the blockchain. I mean, just so
Yeah.
many excellent developments, man. Being on Ethereum is fantastic. I really don't care what people say in terms of, oh, well, it's so expensive and the gas, like, get over it. There's so much traffic here. There's so much traffic. P2P traffic on the Ethereum network is nuts.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. And you do have these layer two solutions, which are actually solutions for your gas fees. So you don't need to worry about it. Not too much, in fact. And if people do not know in the back end of most of the projects, your transactions on each chain ideally happen in layer two. You do pay the gas fees for the layer one solution because you're utilizing it, but your actual block creation, and I mean not block creation, the transaction flow ideally happens through the WE bridge. So especially Polygon or Arbitrum, these are the two that I know of which are majorly utilized. So yep, I mean, I think gas fees is something that will definitely reduce. In the late days, I've seen very low gas fees. I've seen single digit ways. That's like holy.
Right, right. Fire sale. Just
After
throw
seeing,
everything at it.
yeah, after seeing those gas fees of say, uh, I think when in the month of November, I believe, when a lot of cryptos were at the peaks, we saw gas prices as ridiculously as $800 to $1,000 in just a transaction.
Oh man, did you see the gas prices when the other side deeds were coming out? Bored Ape Yacht Club and the other side
Uh,
launch.
mm-hmm.
Oh my
Yep.
god, man. So in the NFT, I know you do a lot of crypto, but in the NFT side of things, you've got the Bored Ape
Mm-hmm.
Yacht Club, which
Yep.
maybe I guess is like the Ethereum of crypto, right?
Oh,
You've got
do you mean when they actually launched their land sales?
yes, the land sales.
Ah, yeah, I was around that. I thought you meant the NFT launch, the first NFT collection launch.
Oh, gotcha, gotcha, gotcha.
Oh no,
No, dude,
I saw the network crashed.
what a mess! What a mess
I
that
know.
was. Yeah, we I can't remember what we were doing, but our chief security officer, he he looked at it, he's like, no, we're not moving money today. Yeah. It was a
Okay,
mess.
did you buy any land over there?
No, I didn't. I didn't.
Okay.
I'm still honestly, my door for learning and education is always open.
Mm-hmm.
Every single day that I'm working, I am learning something new, whether it's programming, whether it's how to write a document, whether it's how to talk to somebody, how to engage and collaborate with somebody new, right? There's always something to learn. With the NFTs and the metaverse, that is something I still need to wrap my head around. I do have
Mm-hmm.
a bit of an understanding with the interworkings of the metaverse. I mean, I understand
Yeah.
basic what's going to be included, right? But how to build it. When I think metaverse, I think World of Warcraft. When I
Yep.
think metaverse, I think of, could almost be Diablo. So it's funny when
Mm-hmm.
when I hear a lot of people make a big fuss about, oh my God, the metaverse. And I'm thinking, have you not played World of Warcraft though? Like, it's been there. Have you not played Diablo? It's been there. Have you played
Yeah.
Skyrim? It's been there. What are we doing?
Okay. The moment you mentioned Skyrim, that's one of my favorite games. I think I
Yeah,
played it
man.
like 4 times from the start to the end, each time in a different play style.
Yeah. It's some of those things that, it's a complete open world experience. You have
Right.
access to wherever you want to go and you can do these fantastic things just like you can in a video game. So why call it a
Mm-hmm.
metaverse? I suppose it's just that's how they want to define that intersection, right?
Exactly.
But to others who are in gaming, it's just okay, cool. This is like a giant video game with new stuff. Yay, let's
Yeah.
go.
But only until they actually experience it. I think okay, if I want to just quote, if for people who think that metaverse is something which is only restricted to gaming and stuff, Lamborghini got into the metaverse section, Nike got into the metaverse section. I think on the Polygon block, that particular project of metaverse that they have, Lamborghini already has a store which is in the metaverse. You can actually visit it and do it. Over here in India, I'll tell you, there were NFTs that were launched by some major automobile makers like Mahindra and Maruti Suzuki. They launched NFTs for the real world cars, and recently they have just come out with this 3D virtual experience showrooms. They call it Nexaverse. I mean, Maruti Suzuki, one of the biggest automotive industry out here. So what you can actually do, wear a VR headset, you walk around a vehicle, you can actually sit inside it, experience the entire vehicle and stuff. You can even drive it, all this stuff in place, right? So this is what is happening in the background, and that is the reason I said they're just wading away the retail investors so that you go ahead and sell and empty your bags with all the fear that's created, and then you just pave way for the red carpet. Okay, here comes the next big automobile industry maker over here. Here comes the next big bank. Here comes the next big institution. I mean, there are many institutions who are already using crypto. In case people do not know, Tron network was actually utilized by many of the banks, including some of the local banks here in India as well, for offshore transactions. Ripple was utilized all the way back in 2018.
Wow.
How come they are utilizing this stuff? Yeah, they were using it already. This was a press release. This is not something which I'm actually quoting. These are press releases, and the banks are still using it till date. Uh, there is a bank called IndusEnd, and they are actually using Tron network for offshore transactions, mainly for the uh, time frame it takes, as well as the amount of fees that they need to pay. Fiat to fiat transfer will take a tremendous amount of time. I'm saying in days. That is offshore transaction between the banks, because that will not be a small amount. That would definitely be in millions and billions, in fact, right? Whereas take Tron, for example, just take a chain, a blockchain, in fact, any token, 5 minutes or
Right.
even less than that.
Right.
That's
Dude,
all it takes, right?
there was I have never been more of a fan or an advocate of cryptocurrency until this one experience. I was
Mhm,
going up to Phoenix, Arizona, to go stay overnight, stay in an Airbnb, and I had made a reservation, got everything set up.
mhm,
The day I left, the day I left, I get a text saying, "Hey, turns out that the host cannot host you today." And I'm thinking, well, this is really unfortunate timing. Um, so what do we do? And the person from Airbnb said, "Oh, well, we can find you a different accommodation." And I said, "Okay, is it going to be around the same price? Da 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 da. I need it around the
mhm,
same area, same price, like the whole nine, or just give me a refund if there's nothing there." So we take a look at Airbnb. There was nothing in that area or for that price. And she says, it's going to take 14 days for you to get your money back. And I'm thinking, listen
mhm.
here, damn it. Listen, it took you 30 seconds to take it from my bank. 30 seconds.
Right.
And now it's taking you 14 days to give it back to me because of your
Mhm.
platform, because of your host. If that happened on the blockchain, Airbnb would turn around and send it right back to me in a hot second.
Exactly. Yes. That's the
No,
change that
no
we're looking at.
interruption. Dude, I cannot wait for that. You know how much that's going to change so many people's lives just to be able to
Yes.
move that money back to where it belongs. I can't wait for that. I seriously cannot wait. And for because I get passionate about it because I get to realize where so many opportunities lie, how to help onboard new things onto the blockchain, and the
Right.
curiosity, the adrenaline rush of potential, and that curiosity now gets pursued. Well, okay, now as a gaming project, how do we get the gaming industry onto the blockchain? What do we have to track?
Right.
What are they looking at? What are they doing? How can we just put them on there?
Absolutely. I mean, the power of blockchain actually came in during this war session that happened, right, between Russia and Ukraine, the initial stages. You could see how quick, I think it was not even an hour or so that they were having more than 10 to 15 million, or even more than that. I forgot the number, but it was millions of dollars within an hour or so across the entire world, who donated it in Bitcoin and other currencies.
Really?
Yep. And they
Wow.
also recently released, I guess, they have spent somewhere around $56 million from those funds for military equipments and stuff.
Wow.
I mean, look at the power of blockchain there. And the recent news that I was just checking out, Ukraine probably would be the next Web3 hub over here in this part of the uh, continent, or whatever we want to call it. So, I mean, things are changing very rapidly in the back end, but not much is actually revealed in the front end. In fact, CBDCs, I don't know if anyone knew it, but I think there are around 97 CBDCs already, out of which two are existing and operational. And I guess both are in, one is in Nigeria, the other one is in Bahamas. Yeah. These are the two locations where CBDCs are already operational. Just think of it. Okay, just take a step back and think of it. Why would people and governments start investing so much of money on an asset which they deem to be having no value at all? Food for thought. That's it.
Food for thought.
All right.
So,
Coming back to your actual, yeah, go
I,
on, go
I
on.
I was going to say, I just to your point about Ukraine being a hub, I think that there's a lot of opportunity in Eastern Europe for blockchain development.
Hmm. Yeah.
From what we have seen, you know, I'm I'm all the way out here in the U.S. and Arizona. I mean, complete opposite time zone from Eastern Europe. The Whenever we want to do something technical or make some sort of advancement or even an inquiry about how is this tech going to work on the blockchain, It's on Eastern European time. I've noticed that so many meetings that we've had
Mhm.
have been on that time zone. So I got to say, I agree with you on that front. I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity out there.
Yep, so true. Now coming back to your actual game or the project DeltaFlare itself, uh, I mean, I'm interested on, could you reveal what kind of a game this would be, and how is the integration that's going to happen between NFTs? After which I have a few, I think two nifty questions from the website of what I read through.
Yeah, definitely. So here's how Valor Rising Quest for the Seven is set. It is set as a 4-player arcade style game. It is meant to be cooperatively played with your friends. The idea is to really bring back the idea of cooperation and put it onto the blockchain. You don't really see it so much in games now. You know, you can play at home with a single player game, or you jump on Call of Duty, or whatever the case might be. But there's something to be said about these arcade like games that do drive a sense of unity. And that's what we like to do at DeltaFlare, is promote that. So it is a 4-player cooperative hack and slash style game. If you've played games like Castle Crashers or Streets of Rage, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, it's that kind of
Mhm.
game. The NFTs are your in-game playable characters. So I have one right here.
Wow, that's the Captain America one. Yeah.
So this is so that's my custom that I can use inside of the game if I choose. Every
Mhm.
single NFT that we create is designed to be an in-game playable character for the game.
Awesome. And I'm just running through the website and see these three tires: the bronze, gold, and silver. This is something new that recently was launched, right? These tires with their specific benefits. So, what can you tell me more about them?
Yeah, so these recently launched back on the 18th of August. So the entire collection between the three is an 8,000 NFT collection. Each tier is split up. There's 1,000 in the gold tier, 3,000 in the silver tier, and 4,000 in the bronze tier. And they're all priced differently because they all come with different benefits. So the gold tier, for example, there are 7 legendaries in that tier, 5 of which have
Mhm.
already been minted. Um,
Yep.
there are we do have a game controller. It's a custom game controller that is being designed by the artist
Yeah, I
himself,
saw that
and
tweet.
this is
There you go.
a prototype of another one, but you know, same kind of similar design, same concept, because
Mhm.
our game is going to be formatted and optimized for controller use. The game
Wow.
is it's a browser based game. It is not one that we intend for you to need to download a client onto your game or onto your PC. It's just you go to the browser and you can play. You have your controller and you can go at it. Um,
Mhm.
we are going to be giving away a custom DeltaFlare gaming rig. We have a $50,000 prize pool. It's in ETH. And what we're going to do is once all of the gold and the silver tiers mint out, we are going to take $50,000 and we are going to attach price tags to all sorts of different tech toys. And every
Mhm.
single wallet that contains a gold or silver NFT will be in this pool. And we're going to run a show on our YouTube channel. And we are just going to say, hey, you know what? Here's an Oculus, and spin a wheel and it's going to this wallet address. And then we just send the ETH amount and they can go and buy the Oculus if they want.
Wow.
So we have that as well. We have a digital poster that's designed by John. If I'm not mistaken, it's going to look a lot like this one, the this movie
Mhm.
quality poster. It's going to be digital. You can print it out, hang it, frame it, whatever. Make it as a blanket. You can sleep with it every night. Um, and then
Good ideas there.
you get the NFT as an in-game playable character. I don't believe I missed anything, but that's all in the gold tier. The silver tier,
Mhm.
The controller is out of there. Oh, we also have T-shirts that we're going to be sending
The
to
T-shirt, yeah.
some merchandise. These are really fantastic T-shirts. They feel comfortable. Our chief security officer, he says that he wears them every day. They're really nice. So in the silver tier, there are no T-shirts, there is no gaming rig, and there are no controllers. But you can still get a raffle ticket, if you will, in for this $50,000 prize pool. And then with the bronze tier, it is just the NFT itself.
Wow, that's nice. So the first question I had was around these tires and stuff. So on the gold tire front, anyone who mints a gold tire will be able to get the controller.
That's right.
So until now, whoever has minted will also be getting a controller.
That's correct.
Awesome. And what about the secondary markets? Like if anyone buys it on OpenSea, will they also be eligible?
So whoever holds the NFT gets the product. So if you buy a gold tier and you happen to sell it, you're selling your raffle ticket, you're selling your controller, you're selling your T-shirt, you're selling it all.
Perfect. Gotcha. Okay, that brings me to the second question around here. When you speak of an NFT, whatever you have minted, will it be the same character that you would be able to utilize in game?
That's correct.
That's awesome. And that I mean, my mind is running around the way that you are actually integrating these many NFTs into your game. That's a huge collection. In fact, it's not like 10, 20 NFTs where you want to just go ahead and put in, right? It's like I think close to 1,000, including all your collections, or even a little more than that. The G400s themselves are like 400 in count, and the pink ladies, I believe, are somewhere around 200, I guess, or even a little more than that.
818.
I forgot the count. And you don't have these.
Yeah. So, and then I would say in total between all of our collections, we're probably looking by the time that we have everything minted out, it's got to be upwards of about 11,000, maybe 12.
Wow. That's a huge list of NFTs to actually integrate to a game.
Yes, it is. It absolutely is. And we're not stopping there. We are going to continue to develop, these are in-game playable characters. When you look at it from a gaming perspective, right? Look at Grand Theft Auto. Look at Red Dead Redemption. Look at, all of these type of multiplayer games. You have thousands, hundreds of thousands of users. If you look at Axie Infinity, the last time I saw had around 286,000 unique active wallets. That's how many people have played the game. When it looks, you're damn right, GSD.
Absolutely is.
When you look at games, right? To have a successful game in industry terms, you're looking at about 100,000 players. That's when you have a successful game. So with that said, we can't have a successful game on 10,000 players. Eventually we need to reach that point where we're attracting, 100,000, where we can feel as if we've been a successful game. Is it going to happen on launch? No, it is not going to happen on launch. Is it going to take time? Absolutely. DeltaFlare we have a 3 to 5 year plan. And we will be on the blockchain for a while. This is something that we're very passionate about, and we understand what needs to get done. And we're going to have a bunch of NFTs to integrate into the game, man. Yeah, 100%.
Awesome. Very excited to see all those upcoming NFTs as well and their utilities in game. So my next question comes down to this particular lore that you actually have. I mean, this is the verbalization of what you showcased in the trailer. In fact, I really like the trailer because you transition from a 3D to a 2D section after a certain amount of time. And I don't know if it was intentional or not, but the planet name that you have actually kept is Matic or MAT1C or IC, however you want to call it. But I would think of Polygon when I check that out. But I don't know if there is a link in the backend if you're planning to have that cross-chain utility and probably launch NFTs on the Polygon chain or make it accessible there as well, stuff like that. Because ETH and Polygon are like brothers, they communicate very well with each other.
So when we launched initially, the G400 collection was on the Polygon network.
On the Polygon. Yeah.
Yes. So the original conception for the game had that name for the planet, and we just never changed it. But the story
Mhm.
of Valor Rising is the story of DeltaFlare. So how it's being developed is just within that capsule.
Wow. Nice. Okay. My question here on this particular lore that is written, you say 407 knots actually were lost on the planet when the ship crashed. Now, out of these, seven are actually the ones that you need to find, and the rest 400 are the one which are available with the captain. Are these the G400s that you initially launched?
Yes.
All right, that was a confusion I had.
So there's a little funny story about that. When we initially launched the G400 series, we got to 400 and there were 7 more that were minted.
Mhm,
It it was a learning process for us, right? We didn't know how to stop the contract from minting. It was a learning process. So we
mhm,
said, hey, you know what? We got to shut it down. So we ended up shutting it down, but there were 7. They didn't have a face to it. They were stranded. They were stuck in the blockchain. They were taken away somewhere. And so that's part of the
mhm.
story. In the story, there are 7 Deltanauts that get taken by a sandworm. And now you and the team, you go find those 7 and you bring them back or not. It's up to you. I'm not gonna give away too much in the game, but we're designing it right now to be um, a
Mhm.
really fun experience where you will be really needing to understand how you work as a team in order to tell the story. And I'm really excited about how that's going to play out.
Wow. I really have to give to whoever is involved in this particular idea of turning a disaster into an actual lore.
That's all of
You
us.
Yeah, you definitely actually meant when you initially said that you are learning every single day, right? I mean, this is how we do it. You brought it in practice. You have a live example in front of you right now. Because yes, you initially did have that hiccup of stopping the contract and you minted 7 additionally. And now you brought it to the lore and you made a story out of it.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Thanks, man. Thank you. I can't wait until we can really talk more about, you know, the bones of the game. We actually have a community team of narrative writers. In fact, if any of you are watching this right now, we will be getting together
Mhm,
soon, as soon as I reach a certain point in this game design document. Um, so these story writers, they submitted a narrative based on that lore, and they submitted the narrative to us developers, and we took all the submissions and we read through them, and then we picked our favorite ones that could help, you know, help with their creative mind tell the story of what's happening to the Deltanauts on planet Matic, how they're eventually going to get off and what they see, what they experience. So right now I'm just kind of designing the bones and the framework, and really soon we're going to come together as a team and we're going to, start detailing things out. What do these enemies look like? What do they do? What kind of weapons do they have? How do they attack? Things of that nature, and really just help bring the story out. Can't wait, man.
Geez, Ivan, make lemonade. Yeah, and just that you brought out the weapons portion, that is something that I also observed on the trailer. Each Delta not holding a weapon, an axe or a sword or something like that. So my crazy thought, the next NFT collection would be the weapons as well. Like you would have NFTs which are weapons. I don't know if you want to reveal it or not, but it's just my thought.
Well, I can tell you this. Let's look at this from a gamer's perspective.
Mhm.
Have you played Fortnite?
Yep.
Okay. So you're familiar and very, very well aware of microtransactions.
Yep.
I hate microtransactions. I
Count
am
me in.
not I am not the only one who hates microtransactions. There is a there is potential and massive opportunity to gouge the market in microtransactions. We don't want
Hmm.
to take that. We don't want to take that because it's a pain in the ass. And realistically, It gets old really quick. You always complain about it. Ah, damn it. Fortnite just came out with another pack. It's going to cost me $8 and I can't sell it. Oh, what a pain in the ass. But you go and you do it anyways. You go and you do it anyways. And
Yeah.
sure, we could afford the opportunity for people to participate in microtransactions to turn around and sell their NFTs. Yes, I know we can. But the reality is, we don't want the game to end up being something that you have to just monitor so often.
Right.
There's a big disconnect in gaming. Right now in the GameFi space, there's a big disconnect. Look at Axie Infinity. It's a grind. You're always leveling up your characters, you're trading, you're merging, you're adding stats, you're doing all this stuff. And some people like it. Some people like to be meticulous about it. But the greater number of people do not care for crap like that. They don't.
Yeah.
It is too time consuming. It takes away from the gameplay when all they want to do is play the damn game and they want to have fun. So it makes no sense for us to just say, oh, okay, cool. Well, now we're making, weapons, and here's skins, and here's a new helmet, and here's this and that and the other, and we're just going to nickel and dime you the entire time. Oh, by the way, we're also on the Ethereum network, so it's going to cost you a fortune. That is a dick. Aslan, that is a dick move. That is a dick move. We are not going to do that. So our collections are going to be NFT centric. They are your characters. We can probably build some things into where there is a leveling system. Do we want it attached to your NFT? Not necessarily, because if I level up my character completely, I want to give somebody else the same experience that I had. I want to give them a fresh start. So give them a fresh NFT. I don't want to go feel like I'm buying a Game Boy Advance game playing Pokemon and the dude has already finished the game for me. As fun as that is, I don't get to have the experience. And that's what it's all about right now on the blockchain. What is your experience? Well, I just got into a shit coin. I just got scammed. I just got rug pulled. I just got into a honeypot. My experience is crazy. But we want to give a better experience. Let's find a way to put gaming onto the blockchain and it doesn't interrupt your life. You still get to play the way you want to play. It is the same game, but now you just get paid for the time that you put in. That's what we want as gamers. That is exactly what we want as gamers. I am very confident about saying that because of the amount of time I have spent as a gamer. 10 years at GameStop, playing Call of Duty, Gears of War competitively, spending hundreds and thousands of hours playing games for an achievement, for an award that says, congratulations, you spent a lot of time playing our game. Yeah. Oh, cool. Great. What do I get with it? A pat on the ass. But let's turn that around. Let's turn that around and find a way to actually get you paid for the amount of time, your time that you spend inside of the game. That is such a fascinating question. What does that look like? It's not done through nickel and diming through NFTs. It is done by delivering a real, true gaming experience where you don't have to meticulously watch everything. You just get to go about your life uninterrupted and having a good time. That's what we want.
Awesome. I really like it that you put it across in a way that you're more focused on the gaming aspect, the game experience to the people rather than the earning mechanism or the crypto impact. I mean, the earning and crypto is obviously part of it, but it's not the priority in your mind. So as far as I have seen in many of the other GameFi projects, which I've also spent some time with, that particular approach will definitely lead you to success. Because the more you focus on the gameplay, the more you focus on the gaming experience. Because end of the day, like you mentioned, if there are 10% of the people who are more focused on improving their stats to the micro level and having those high levels achieved and stuff, there are the 90% who just want to play the damn game. It's as simple as that. So you give them a good game, that's more than sufficient for them.
Dude, I mean, I have Yeah, I like to relate this to games like to free to play games. Look at Fall Guys. Have you played Fall Guys?
Yeah.
Okay, Fall
Uh,
Guys.
mhm.
It's free to play. It's a party game. Destiny 2 is another great example. It's a free to
Yeah.
play game, right? But you can go and you can buy seasons. You get
Yes.
taxed in a way with microtransactions. I just want to play the game. I'm not going to give you any more of my money if I can just play the game for free. You know what I mean? If
Yep.
if you make a free to play game, great, I'm there. No, I don't want to spend any more money. You're not going to attract me with the skin. I know how the game works, but if there's an imbalance where it becomes pay to win, that's where I cut it off.
Mhm.
I am not going to participate in a game where it's pay to win. Screw that. It's not worth my time. But if I can play a game like Fall Guys and I am at the same level as everybody else, and the only thing that's going to change is the costume I'm wearing, I have absolutely zero need to spend any more money. Now,
Yep.
looking at that from a gaming perspective on the blockchain, especially, like I said, man, the Ethereum network probably now is going to start growing at an even greater rate. But even before, it was
Yes.
growing at a 21,000% rate. There's so much traffic on the Ethereum network. We know that we can be those jerks that just, are looking for every speck of dust of ETH in your wallet, but that's not going to make you come back. That isn't.
Right.
But giving you a better experience where you can come and feel good and play and then say, hey guys, you know what? Here's a game, really easy to play, low barrier to entry. All you need is an NFT. Oh, by the way, they've made it really easy for you to get. No
Yeah.
microtransactions. Have fun. Just have fun. On top of that, let's take it even off of the blockchain for a minute. Let's look at it from a
Mhm.
Web 2 perspective, right? When you look at games, indie games, when you look at arcade games, these two-dimensional side scrollers like what we're building, they're still
Mhm.
popular games. They're still fun to play. People still do play them.
Yep.
So even even all the while we'll be on the blockchain, we do plan on having a game that is also off of the blockchain, but it will be available on Steam. We want to make it available on Nintendo. We want to make it available for PlayStation users, for Microsoft users, so that way, even off of the blockchain, you can still play Valor Rising. And the cool thing is that the only difference that we want to make is one's on the blockchain, one isn't. But otherwise,
Mhm.
you're on the same playing field, playing the same game, doing the same thing. So when you get used to playing our game off of the blockchain, we can just help you get on the blockchain, and it's a smooth integration from there. You don't need to buy anything else besides an NFT. And that is how
Mhm.
we believe that we can help bring people onto the blockchain through gaming.
I would agree with you 500% on that. In fact, that transition between the Web 2 and Web 3 is where the gamers are kind of, stuck in between. Mainly because of one, bad press, and again, like I again mentioned earlier, awareness. They do not know how an NFT operates. They do not know how a blockchain game operates. Apart from the fact that many of the existing blockchain games that are out there, they're meh. So they do not actually look so good and enticing for the people to actually spend that much of amount of time and effort in terms of learning how an NFT works. And like you said, that microtransaction part, it's very much integrated in many of the games that are out there. So on the blockchain front, that is. So you need to actually have that establishment done, right? Like you mentioned, there is a big, huge potential, and there is a huge gap as well between these three top games and the other games that are out there. So it's all about giving that experience and that seamless transition between Web 2 and Web 3. And the way that you said that you will have two versions, one is on the chain and the one is off chain, and you have the same game that you actually are playing. Once you utilize used to it, I think the only aspect that would ideally change over here is, apart from the achievements that you could actually get on the off blockchain, you would also be able to earn for the time that you spend on the blockchain, right, with an NFT and stuff. So yeah, who wouldn't want that?
Right. Not only our game, not only do we want you to earn tokens and in our in-game token, we're going to help you exchange them for our native cryptocurrency, but we also want to give an opportunity for people to win or play for NFTs. So that
Hmm.
way, when there's that additional integration, that additional layer of blockchain knowledge, but we want it to happen so seamlessly, so easily, that even if you don't know anything about an NFT, but you get one to play the game, you still play the game and you get to gather NFTs into your digital wallet that you can do
Mhm.
whatever you want with. And it's all done through playing the game. It's a social element, it's an infrastructure element, it's a gaming element. I mean, it's everything that I and a lot of, in fact, the rest of the team, the entire DeltaFlare team, just have a passion for. This level of gaming on the blockchain. And man, I don't know if you know this, the gaming market right now is outperforming the NFT market right now at this moment. There's a larger audience for the NFTs, for the NFT market. However, the market cap last I checked may have been around 1.5 to 2.5 million. I'm sorry, billion.
Mhm.
Um, the GameFi industry, on the other hand, is, last I checked, I think it was last week, was at $9.1 billion. There are fewer audiences, and the top 15 GameFi projects, according to chainplay.gg, you have some
Mhm.
games that are listed up in the top 15 that have a multi-million dollar market cap, but they don't have a game yet. What does that tell you? What does that
Yeah.
tell you? To me, as a developer on this side of the blockchain, it means that when you look at where funding is coming from, you have game studios, game developers that want to go and invest in companies like ours. They don't care if you don't have a game yet, but they want to see that you're working on one because they already know it takes a long time.
Yeah.
Because they're also very, very lucrative corporations, there's potential there. They have dry powder to invest into us as game development studios. So looking at it from a, I don't know, from a financial point of view, and this is absolutely not financial advice, but looking at it from my perspective as a game developer, looking at it in terms of finance, there is more growth opportunities in game finance than there is in NFTs. So going all the way
Yeah.
back to the question you asked about, why didn't we make an NFT marketplace? Because the GameFi market right now is about 4 times better than the NFT market. People are using OpenSea. People are always going to OpenSea. People are going to Rarible. People are going to what they know. There's not much around gaming besides Decentraland, besides Axie Infinity, besides Sandbox,
Yeah.
Steppen, and others of those projects, which means that if a small company like ours that can make a huge wave, which we have a massive game plan, when we can make a huge wave in the GameFi space, we can be strong competitors in the space, and we're very confident with that. So
I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you on that because there is a whole lot of potential for the GameFi section out there. And especially now with that Web3 gaming coming into the picture, where you just need to have an access to a browser and nothing more than that. And you can actually use it even on your mobile phone. And mobile gaming per se, I guess it's contributing most 45 to 50% of the entire gaming industry. I mean, including your consoles, PCs, and other stuff. Mobile gaming is almost like 45 to 47% of the entire gaming industry, and the revenue that is generated is close to around 90 million, I guess, out of the 170 odd million that was in the figure in 2021, the last I checked.
wow.
So that's how much potential you can actually tap into with this particular GameFi industry, in fact. So yep, that's really a pretty cool process, and I'm very excited to see how this entire thing evolves. Just to add into that particular point, when you say about big industries or big institutions or gaming studios waiting for these smaller projects to come out, Polygon has this $1 billion grant that it's actually looking out for to give to potential GameFi industries. I mean, why focus on GameFi? Food for thought again.
Why focus on GameFi? Is that what you asked?
No, I mean, I just said, why is Polygon focusing on GameFi? Why is Polygon
Right,
building a fund of $1 billion to the GameFi industry? Just
right,
to add
right.
into the point that GameFi has a lot of potential than NFT marketplaces.
Look at the market right now, right? Look at every layer one, look at every blue chip, right? We're down. The whole market's
Yeah.
down. That means all layer 2s are also down. Okay.
Yep.
You talked about a red carpet entrance. The GameFi industry is a $9.1 billion market right now, and the audience is very small. The potential is huge, and the barrier, the gate is open. The gate's open. And there are so many people that are saying, oh, hey, look, there's a huge wide open gate. You want to save on taxes and stuff? Go throw your money on the blockchain. Great.
Right.
So, here's so much potential. Here are these people that are eager and willing to learn and looking to build, go throw your additional funding at them. It's so set up. I believe it. The rest of the team believes it. There are so many other people that are in GameFi that believe that game finance is going to be the next bull run. Again, just because audience size, funding that's already come in. Look at a project. They're called Oasis, OASUS, on their team. Okay, this is a massive team right here. Gabby Dizzen, the co-founder of YGG. YGG is the primary guild for Axie Infinity. They came up with Axie Infinity. They were the place to go be a scholar. Okay. YGG came up big time. So you've got that guy, Gabby, who's a co-founder of Oasis. Okay. There is the president and the CEO of Bandai Namco Research that is also part of the team. There is the co-COO of the Sega Corporation, Sonic Sega, who's also part of the team. You can't tell me, nobody can sit there and tell me that GameFi is not booming when you have massive leaders from major corporations that are on the same team as people who are currently building on the blockchain, who are in game finance right now, and who was part of who's part of seeing the development of a multi-billion-dollar GameFi project.
Yep.
Changed my mind. Where's my coffee? Changed my mind.
There you go. Yes, I totally agree with you on that. There is a lot of stuff happening in the back end, which the press is also not covering and which many are also not actually looking into. Everyone's focused only on the charts right now. Everyone's focused only on the price point of many of the tokens which are actually down. And everyone's working, you have this famous question. I'm sure you would have actually got it a lot of times. When Lambo? So everyone's focused on the Lambo, wherein they're forgetting the fact that Lambo is a way of that's become the olden eras. Now it's all about when a SpaceX rocket or when the mission to Mars, right? So
yeah, definitely,
that's what I'm focused on personally.
I think I don't know if Oasis. I think Oasis is being built on the Ethereum network. I can't remember. I'll probably find it at some point. But man, that is a heavy hitter project in the game finance industry that I am certainly looking at. I mean, massive competitor. And so that's another thing, right? Let's talk briefly, very, very briefly about business on the blockchain. I got to say, man, that I really don't think that there are too many projects or enough projects really that are looking at typical or standard traditional Web 2 business models and finding how to apply it into Web 3 and looking at those same elements because they still exist. They still apply. I cannot take another project seriously if I ask them for something and they can't deliver. And these are things that would typically be asked for in a Web 2 setting. So what I mean by that is, if I say, well, who are your competitors? And you're saying like, nobody. Like, come on, man. There's got to be one. There's got to be one. And if you don't know who that is, you have not done enough research. If we ask for certain things like data analytics for marketing, what we're looking for is, if this was Web 2, that's what we're looking for. You know what I mean? So those sort of industry standards were set in Web 2 and they can still be applied for Web 3. But the difference is how does that balance and scale? So business on the blockchain, I think, is a really interesting concept. I think that when you have projects like DeltaFlare, like Oasis, like Sky Token is another good friend, like
Yep.
Boss Girls who we're partnered with. You know, you look at all these people who understand Web 2 and Web 3 and understand that how to integrate people on. Those are projects to really stick to because they have an understanding of how business works. Man,
Yep.
I know I just went on a little tangent, but business and blockchain, I don't think it's talked about enough. I don't think it's talked about enough.
Now,
It's the wild, wild
now
west,
that you
right?
mentioned about business, blockchain, and stuff, I'm going to show you something from another portal, which is built by another project called Archangel. They have this portal which is similar to CMC, but much better than CMC in the coming days. Guardian platform. All right. So on this, uh, I hope my screen is visible. Yeah. Okay. So over here in the career connection section, it's ideally a page where it pulls in any of the career openings which are out there with the words of these keywords: blockchain, NFT, digital asset, and stuff. Just have a look at all these companies: AP Capital, Fidelity Investments, Certec, Citi, Amazon, Microsoft, Gemini, Terra, JP Morgan Chase, Pfizer. I mean, this is a medical company. In fact, Pfizer is into I think bio biotech and stuff. I mean, making medicines. Morgan Stanley, Clearmatic. I mean, why do these guys even need blockchain? Just think about it. These are
Right.
just a small amount of, you see Ford over here. You see Wells Fargo. You have C Circle.
There was I want to say it must have been 4 weeks ago. I'm on
Mm-hmm.
LinkedIn and I got a message, a notification on my LinkedIn saying that the NHL hockey league was looking
Mm-hmm.
for an NFT specialist, an NF or was an
Yep.
NFT director. And I'm thinking, whoa, the NHL is looking for an NFT director. Holy crap.
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't these are huge, big companies, man. It's not going to take much. If you know something about the blockchain, you know how it works, you know how NFTs work, you know how to build something, you can ask any of these people. And here's the cool thing about entrepreneurship in a way. If there is not a job description, you can always make one. You can always make a job
Yep.
and pitch it to Apple and say, hey, Apple, here's what I do on the blockchain. I am a, whatever. Here's everything that I do. Here's my qualifications. And they'll take a look at it and think, damn, I didn't know I needed a blockchain expert, but here you are. Fantastic. You know,
Yeah.
we are not limited. We're not limited by, what the company says that they're looking for. If you're creative enough, if you can find a way to integrate it, you can always approach them with an opportunity. So it's really cool to see this. I actually had no idea that all of these companies can populate under these keywords.
Absolutely. I mean, just that you mentioned Apple, you can see the Apple logo also over here.
Yeah.
So they are coming out. I'm just like, for all those people who are asking about when Lambo, I'm on a different tangent. I'm asking when Apple Coin.
It's only going to be a matter
I
of
mean,
time. Look, we
yeah.
know we know that you can copy pasta shitcoin. What's it going to take? What's it going to take for you to say, hey, you know what,
Mhm.
Apple, I know how to launch you a cryptocurrency, and based on your financials,
Yep.
I think it should look like this. Here's how it'll work. Boom, here you go. And Apple thinks, well, you just took about 5 years off of the data research process. Thanks.
Right.
Here's a job. That is possible. That's completely possible. That's
Yes.
what these companies are looking
Absolutely.
for
Yes.
because they want to be on the blockchain. They just don't know how to do it yet.
How? Exactly. That's the exact thing when I said about, the expertise that's existing right now in the market. Come 1-2 years down the lane, you will have a lot many experts who are rolling out. You have universities who are offering courses right now. There are there are not many teachers, not many teachers itself. So how do you expect students to come in?
There's up in Phoenix. I actually took a look in the state of Arizona. I took a look, and up in Phoenix, there's a university. Arizona State University is the only
Mhm.
school that has come up for blockchain education. The only university.
Right.
The school I attend, which is the University of Arizona, it doesn't offer it. Um,
Mhm.
There's one of the professors. He's a tech professor. He just made a post on his LinkedIn about the metaverse, and I got on there and I commented and I said, "Oh, Professor Black, here's what I'm learning in blockchain right now about the metaverse, and here's how AI is being integrated and all this stuff."
Uh-huh.
And here I am thinking, this is a professor. This is one of my mentors, and as a student, I feel as if I'm becoming a little bit more of a subject matter expert. How quickly is it?
Yes.
How quickly can people like us that come and watch, your show, that build in the blockchain, that spend time watching the market, theorizing and finding ways to help standardize how blockchain is being utilized, how quickly we can all be subject matter experts in our community to help the community understand and learn. All it takes is, and I said this a while back, it's the experience. That's it. They
Yep.
can't have a bad experience. A lot of people aren't going to continue persevering. I'm sure when you first learned about crypto, you thought, "Oh, I have no idea what the hell I'm doing, but of course I'm going to find
Oh,
out." Just like me, just like Baffles, just like Crypto Empress, just like every single other person who's been in here, we've
yes.
had to learn. But the barrier to the language we have to learn is tough, and not a lot of people want to
Yes.
learn it. We have all proven we can be language acquisition specialists for the blockchain. And now how do we teach people to get in? You know,
Yep.
we look at stuff that you just brought up. Oh, damn, Apple, they need a language acquisition specialist. Bittrex needs the same thing. They need to know how to do this. You can do it. Baffles can do it. I can do it. It can be done. Looking at When Moon, When Lambo, When Mission to Mars, When Planet Matic, it's just a matter of time. It's a matter of time.
Yes.
We have a list on LinkedIn. There was one of my, third separated contacts who had reposted something, and the original post said,
Mhm.
if you are into blockchain gaming, or if you are into blockchain technology, if you are a developer, send me a DM. I have a list of 800 venture capitalists that want to invest in blockchain technology. I was right there. Man. I got onto his
Yep.
DMs. I sent him a friend request. I said, "Hey, I need that list. Send me the list." A week went by. I didn't hear anything, and I thought, "Damn, I wonder if that guy was he was probably out there fishing.
Laughing.
Maybe, I don't know." I sent
I
another
know.
message. Hey man, do you have that list? And just yesterday, he sent me a response, and he goes, "Hey man, my DMs have been flooded. Everybody's been asking for this. Things are going great. Here you go." And he sends me a list. So now DeltaFlare has a
Mhm.
list of 800 VCs that are looking to get into the blockchain. We're going to take every
Wow.
advantage of that, man. We're going to take every advantage of it. We have a plan for When Moon, when Lambo. We have a plan, but the moon's like right here. Lambo is maybe down at the bottom. Moon is like,
Nah.
Planematic is but we're talking like, let's get over to Neptune. It's going to take us a long time to get there, but we're getting there. We're looking at a 5-year plan.
Mhm.
If we have investors like this, they don't want to invest in small short-term projects. So I gotta say, man, it's out there. It's available. Any blockchain developer, just go do a little research and you will find
Yeah.
exactly what you're looking for.
You're absolutely right. I mean, was that a bomb drop that you just did in terms of receiving the 800 plus venture
I'm sorry.
capitalists?
What'd you say? I can't. I
Was
think
that a bomb drop?
my headphones turned down a little bit. What? I'm
Okay.
playing with
I
you.
was just saying.
I'm playing with you.
I know. I'll just keep repeating until you agree to it. But anyways, I
Yes.
know
That is a
that's good.
bomb. That's a bomb drop for you guys. Yep.
Awesome. So Baffles here is saying, I imagine buying $100 NFT and getting to experience Disney World in VR, and they can monetize merch with collectibles on the blockchain. I don't see why it's not possible. I mean,
Yeah.
you do pay for. Wait, there was this recent concert that happened which had NFT tickets rolled out. This was a music festival that I forgot where it was, but it was purely NFT tickets that got sold out to it.
Man, so there's a so DeltaFlare, we love We love partnering with people here on the blockchain,
Mhm.
especially when you create partnerships, especially because this industry, this whole event, this whole thing is so new. You don't want to be
Yes.
that guy, that project who just sits in a corner and you're a little gremlin, like, don't talk to me. I don't want to partner with you. Do your due
Yeah.
diligence, figure out what the other project is and see how you can make things work, right? So, we had our first partnership with Crypto Empress and Boss Girls when we created NFTs. Massive,
Mhm.
fantastic experience. We minted out in 18 minutes.
Yeah.
Boom, we're running. We have a partnership, a collaboration with Sky Token. We have 500 NFTs, all are playable characters. All of those pink ladies that we did with Crypto Empress, in-game playable characters. That's marketing. That's marketing forever, for the lifetime
Right.
that the game is being hosted on a server. That's marketing. You look at Sky Token, they have
Mhm.
their Skynauts that we created. That's marketing. All of
Yes.
this just makes so much sense. These are collaborations. All these NFTs are now verified by blocks. It is a layer of authenticity that goes on top of the NFTs. So scamming is harder because you can,
Yes.
and they have they're working with Humble. They can actually be found on Humble. Humble has a Search 3 platform that you can go on to Search 3, go onto their internet platform, type in Pink Ladies, boom, Pink Ladies pop up. Think about this with Google, right? That's what Search 3 is becoming the next Google.
Yes.
You can type in NFTs, you're getting exactly what you want. You can see it's verified by blocks. Awesome. Where can I buy it? Where can I find it? I know it's secured now. All of these partnerships are so meaningful in order to advance the blockchain. So, at any rate, I get so passionate about these partnerships, man. They are so meaningful, and I believe that in order for us to all grow, we need to look at how this is done. How else can we monetize the blockchain? But how else can we create partnerships? You know how cool it would be to have tickets in Disneyland that you could
Yeah.
possibly buy as an NFT. There is a project. I don't know if it's a project or just a service, but maybe Booyah might be able to help out. He's part of a blended
Mhm.
community. There's a service called Tickery, and they do
Mhm.
concerts as you can get them as NFTs. That is so amazing. Think about when you can buy a plane ticket as an NFT, right?
Yeah.
Easy, easy. Amusement park NFTs, easy. I mean, the possibilities are almost endless. Really, almost endless. Look at land deeds. Look at land deeds as NFTs.
Yeah.
I was just talking to somebody earlier today who's a realtor, and we haven't talked in a while. And he said, "Hey, man, what are you doing these days?" And I said, "Hey, Rich, I'm actually working on the blockchain. In fact, I have seen that there's a real estate project on the blockchain." And he goes, "Whoa, how does that work?" And
Yes.
so I'm talking to a real estate guy about how you could put a land deed inside of an NFT and just transfer that. You take out the middleman. Take out the middleman. That's the
Yeah.
best. That's the best part about the blockchain, man. Take out the middleman. We get to go straight to the source. How exciting.
Absolutely. Yes. I mean, if anyone's thinking this would be a one-on-one transfer in, the government can actually benefit from that. Your taxes can be tokenomics. It can be royalty on your NFT, which directly goes into the treasury of the nation, of that specific nation, and you can alter that percentage to whatever you want, and that's stored on the blockchain. And it's
Right.
just a true ownership transfer. That's the main part that happens, right? True ownership. That's something
Right.
that you're transferring to anyone.
When you build that NFT out, you can assign how much goes where. And all you
Yeah.
need is a digital wallet and somebody to program the thing. And just for people to say, "Yep, this is real. It's a real thing.
Yes.
I accept." Is that the only hurdle to consistently ask each other? Well, what's the risk? Well, yeah, I mean, everything we do is an opportunity cost. There's a that is my
Hmm.
favorite. That's my favorite phrase, opportunity cost. Everything's an opportunity cost. What is my risk, right? If I put my house in an NFT, can I transfer it and is it going to be safe? Yeah, it can't be
Yep.
replicated, guy.
I think
So
there was this project in the Bahamas itself wherein you could invest. I think it's even backed by FTX. Uh, I forgot the name, but yes, you can actually own a piece of land on some of the Bahama Islands out there, and you actually get a written deed from the government stating that you own this land for this much amount of duration of time, and that's an NFT for you.
That is so
That's
cool.
existing already. It's just not out on the mainstream media, right? So things are happening in the background.
Look, man, if you find that, can you DM that link to me? I would love
Yes,
to buy some land in the Bahamas as an NFT. Are you kidding me?
yeah, sure, definitely, I'll do that. I'll just dig through my other stuff. I think I have it in one of my earlier videos. I'll just check through that.
That would be so cool. I would
Yep,
love to be part of that. Yeah.
awesome. So we are hitting that 1 hour 44 minutes. I mean, time really flies.
Anybody who knows me knows I'm a chatterbox. I love doing this. I love talking about blockchain. I love talking about potential. I said it at the beginning. The adrenaline rush of potential is probably my biggest driver. Seeing what the blockchain can do, seeing what, you know, Booyah, look at Baffles, look at yourself, Crypto Empress, everybody who's here, GSD, look at what a community can do. This is what we get to build. We're in the early
Yep.
stages of seeing new, I don't want to say corporations because sometimes it has a negative connotation to it, but we are seeing
Mhm.
new blockchain corporations be formed under a new set of rules. A new set of rules.
Yes.
It's an amazing experience. It's so amazing to be a part of. It's so much fun to just go spread the news. It's fun to be a part of stuff like this. I would much rather, like I said, I would much rather have a conversation, an interview, an AMA rather than a project review. You learn about the project, sure, but who is behind it? I
Yes.
gotta say, man, I have had such an amazing time. I really hope that I get to see you around a bit more in the Discord and even in the Telegram. Um, thank you so much for having us on here, dude.
Hey, thanks for actually accepting the invite. In fact, I just keep approaching some of the projects which are actually good out there, and this is what I want to do. This is my passion. It's all about providing that education and awareness in the crypto space rather than going ahead and saying, hey, buy this project, it's going to go 100x. Buy this particular token, it's going to 1,000x, without any baseline or foundation, right? So that's not something that I want to do. And one more thing that I want to actually tell you, this is not this is just the first, but this is definitely not the last. So anytime you want to hop on, let me know. I'll just have this scheduled and we could actually do this particular conversation. Keep it running. it's
Sounds
it's
good,
always an
man.
open ground over here.
I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. That we're very selective about who we like to do that with, and everybody so far has really left an open door and an open invitation to come back. Thank you. I really do appreciate that. DeltaFlare appreciates that big time. We will certainly keep in touch and look to do some more updates later on in the future.
Sure, definitely, yes. All right, then I'm going to close this particular session. Thank you so much for all those who tuned in to Aslan's Crypto Chat this week. And here we go. One more big thank you to Josh from DeltaFlare. Do check out this project. I've been lurking in the Telegram and Discord for quite some time. And I know for a fact this project is destined for success. Not hyping, but just pure truth from whatever I could actually read through and just what I've understood about the project. And as you have seen how Josh actually explained about the project and stuff. So thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Take care. Have fun.